Hello, and back again at King of Fighters 14. We're doing a Kyokusunagi breakdown. I'm gonna check what tools this guy has to use, and some combos at the end of the video. So, let's do it. Check his standing normal, so far C, not cancelable, standing D, standing far D, not cancelable, and I think that thing avoids fireballs, to be honest. At least ground projectiles. Yeah, there you go. So that's useful. Useful to tag a guy with. Also not cancelable, so you can't cancel into that. And then standing weak punch. Got some pretty good distance for a weak punch. Standing weak kick is a very good poking tool, so you want to be using that guy to do a bit of poking with. You can, yeah, you can combo a couple of weak attacks into a cancel. But that move itself isn't cancelable, so you can only BC cancel or max mode cancel, quick max cancel. Let's take a look at the others. If we look at his ducking fierce punch, looks like a pretty good anti-air. Let's test that. Although, you don't really need it because he has a DP, but anyway, let's try it. Trades. Doesn't look like such a good idea. Unless you get it early. Also be a better anti-air. DP. Yeah, so DP would definitely work better. No, deny. You don't need to come in. No. Even like the really deep one managed to give you that invincibility. You'd rather use the DP than down and fierce, unless you have to. So he's down and fierce kick, or he's ducking D. Pretty good sweep. And hit cancelable, so it doesn't whiff cancel. Oh, it does. Okay, so it whiff cancels, provided you do it fast enough. Even with the command normal. Wow, that's quick. Oh, so that's pretty useful. Oh, okay. Alright, doesn't combo. That's too bad. I was hoping it'd keep him in a juggle state. Doesn't look like it. Alright, what else do we have here? Down and weak punch, down and weak kick. And all those are cancelable, so you can... Yeah, oh, not all cancelable. Okay, so ducking weak kick isn't cancelable. Not that it matters, because you can link them together. There you go. Okay, so poking tools, your ducking B, standing B. You can special attack off everything except the ducking B, but you can link. And looking at his command normals, you've got two. You've got the forward and B, forward weak kick, and you've got the down forward and D, down forward and fierce kick. So you can chain 2 hits and then do your command normal quite easily. And that cancels after the first hit, so you can do a special move directly afterwards, like that. Okay, so you can do that kind of attack. And then his forward and D is an overhead, unless obviously you put it together from a conventional normal. So if you do any conventional normal that loses its overhead property, try and do the command normal straight after the attack. Otherwise, yeah, it's just an overhead, and you can also quick max straight out of that. And not cancelable if it's done on its own. But if you do chain it together with the others or link it together with others, then you can cancel. So that's useful. So kind of normal combo to do would be this kind of thing, which is pretty decent as far as damage goes as well. So that's fierce punch, forward and weak kick, and then half circle back and fierce kick. But we'll go through those a bit later. Let's move to the air. So jumping A is this attack. Does look like it has some decent air priority, not so much on the ground. He's jumping C is this fella. And then he's jumping D, he's got some good reach on it. Yeah. And jumping B is the most amazing thing, yeah. I mean, this thing crosses up from the very beginning of the stage. Man, it's redunculous. There you go. So you can cross up with a jumping B. The other thing you can try and cross up with is his command normal in there, which is down and C, down and fierce punch. So timing dependent and placement dependent, you can cross up with that one too, which is neat. Taking a look at his close attacks, weak punch obviously, weak punch. Standing weak kick I think you can cancel, yeah. Standing weak kick you can also cancel. His fierce punch does 2 hits, so after the first hit you can cancel from our normal cancel, but after the second you can't. Okay, so that's important to know. So if you do that fierce punch and you get 2 hits out, you can't do cancels afterwards. And then also it's very fast. So I mean, like from your cross up with your down and C, your cross up with your B rather. Yeah, cross up with your B. You can do that attack and still chain your entire combo together. But if you try and do that with his fierce kick, it's not as easy. So it looks like it takes a bit more time to try and combo, and for that I think he's got the down and C. So this is the way for more damage. Obviously, if you try and use the down and C, then fierce kick instead of the kind of like first hit from the fierce punch. So you know, just try and get this right. I whiff this thing forever. Look at me, I'm useless. Come on, I know it crosses up. Wow. Is that it? That looked like a cross up, didn't it? One. Okay, there we go. So yeah, so if you practice that, you can use your down and C and then your standing D into your combo, and that's probably the biggest way to get the damage. But you are going to avoid a hit confirm, so my recommendation would probably be just to go straight for the hit confirm combo rather, you know, and that way you know that if you've done the first couple of attacks and they all connect, you can do the rest quite safely. And otherwise you're being a little risky with the down and C. So like all that practice seems a bit kind of pointless unless you're convinced you're going to hit the guy. And I mean, like for me, I found this much easier in the other King of Fighters games than in this one. In fact, I used to be able to chain 2 of these things together, but I can't even do that now. I struggle to do it. So yeah, just so you know. So that pretty much goes through everything. All his normals. So we can move on straight to the specials. Alright, so specials, he's got kind of the normal Kusanagi range of stuff, which is his I want to say it's a Rekka, but it's not really. You've got quarter circle forward and A, quarter circle forward and A, and then forward and B, or forward and A. So you can do that kind of thing. Or if you use the forward and B at the end, you get kick away. Then you can change a command as well to quarter circle forward and A, half circle back and A. So it does this kind of thing. Alright, and that second hit is an overhead. So if the guy is ducking, and then forward and A gives you that kind of attack. Then you can nail him. Also, he can do the, or rather, he could do the forward and B afterwards, but it doesn't seem like he can do it anymore. I understand that because it was kind of pointless in the first place. You know, after getting the guy with a knockdown, you fly over his head with a kick. That didn't make any sense. So that's useful. Especially if you want to end a combo with a bit of style where you can do a knockdown. I mean, like after launch, you can kind of do those attacks. All of them will hit, which is nice, useful. If we look at the fierce punch variation, it's a little different. So if you do the quarter circle forward and fierce punch, the only option after that you have is half circle back and fierce punch. So that's quarter circle forward and C, half circle back and C, and then again you can use the forward and C for the last hit. And then also right at the end of that you can do the dragon punch motion, the DP with the C button, and you get the extra hit. So it's actually 4 commands. Again, previously in some of the games it's a bit easier to do the kind of commands where you would do a fierce punch into a command normal and then that. But it does look like he whiffs second hit. Oh, actually he got in there. I think he whiffs third hit. Yeah, so he whiffs third hit. And also then you can try doing that stuff on cross-up as well and get the guy a bit closer to you so you'll whiff less hits. So yeah, that's the two. I wonder if this one. Oh, okay. So he has a new one now, which is a low. So you can do quarter circle forward and A, that. Then you can do half circle back and B. And he goes low. And that actually counts as a launch. Alright, so that last hit incorporates a launch, and that's the forward. Just check. Yeah, forward and B, which is weird because he does a punching attack. Yeah, so it's a bit odd. Forward and B. Let me punch you with my kick button. Punch, kick button. It's a bit odd, but there it is. And yeah, as you saw at the end there, you can also press the forward and one of the punches. What did I press there? I think it was forward and C does that. Same as forward and A. So forward and A, forward and C at the end of that is also the same kind of thing. He jumps forward with the kind of command of the down and C in air. So yeah, you know he's going to go low, and then he's going to try and jump in with another attack. And I believe you can combo off with that. So you know you have to like get the kind of spacing right, and then you can combo off that. Or I'm wrong. Maybe it was a demo. Yeah, he gets knocked down to the floor. No combo. So I don't know where you'd really use that. I mean, you can't launch a guy into it, so it's going to be just guesswork when you get to the pressure games. Look at the way he flies. I wonder. Ah, maybe. Not even. Oh well. I was really hoping that would work. Doesn't look like it. Alright, so just some options. He's got an extra move that you can now see. He has two other options. And then his other specials. Maybe what we should do is do the X versions of those first. Yeah, let's get some meter. Alright, so I'm also busy learning this game as I plan. I don't really play Hero too much, so let's go and see what these things do. So let's try the quarter circle and both punches. Okay, so he does that. Alright, so I'm assuming he's going to do the DP afterwards as well. Yeah. Alright, so the X version doesn't leave you much for trying any other options, which is a bit sad. I mean, you can only quarter circle forward both punches, half circle back, and then forward and punch, DP. And time motion is going to be quarter circle forward, A and C, half circle back, A or C, forward and A or C, and then DP and A or C. So, yeah. I don't know why I would do that. I don't know, extra damage? How much is that? No, that's not... Oh, it looks about the same. I guess it's just faster, maybe it has different properties to it. Unless I'm missing something. Alright, so let's look at some of the other specials. He's Dragon Punch, DP. Okay, so the weak version, nice and low, and I believe the fierce version has auto guard on it. So let's quickly see if it gets really slow fireball and see if I can auto guard a fireball quickly. Oh, he jumps right through it. Not so weak. Okay, so that means he jumps right through the normal one. I wonder then if I can just use a normal attack. Maybe just do this. Or that. Let's do that rather. See if I can auto guard that. What am I missing here? Oh man, I don't even see that auto guard. So it looks like I go just straight under it. It's odd. You can't tell me they took that away from us as well. I'm pretty sure I saw an auto guard with that. Anywho, the X version kind of spins the guy around and does quite a bit of damage. So for normal launch attacks end with that kind of thing, and it also manages to hit behind a little, so it looks like the area of effect is a little bigger. Moving on to the next special, we can use the Dragon Punch backwards in B, which is this hard knockdown combo. Again, also something that you can use as a knockdown after a regular combo. The D version goes quite a bit further. Has a massive hang time. The X version does a bound, so that bounces the character. Ready for follow-ups. So you can follow up after the bound. If we look at the half circle back and D or B, it's Russian grab. That combos quite nicely with a whole bunch of things, including launches. So that's cool. The X version doesn't combo like that, but it does act as a command throw. So right next to someone you can command throw them, and it's unblockable in that respect. So you can use it as that. It's also range dependent, so just be careful you don't try and do something where you're not close enough. You know, you're not going to get him. So that's important to know. Yeah, does work after some of the normals. So yeah, distance dependent, just make sure you get the right idea. And let's see what else we have. Oh yes, the standby, quarter circle forward and kick. So the D version does quite a bit of launch. The weak one comes out a bit faster. Also both you can follow up with. And if we look at the EX version, it does quite a considerable amount for height. And what's nice about that is you can follow the one up with the other. So if you do the weak one and then do the EX version, you get to do those kicks twice. I think you can even do it the other way around. This one? Yeah, so if you do the first one, you can also do the EX version. I believe the EX first. There is also... Yeah, correct. Okay, so if you do the EX first, you can also do the standard variation afterwards. So I doubt that you'll get another EX afterwards. It'll just be around some ridiculous juggling. Yeah, nothing there. So let's move on to the supers. And he's got this fella, the Orochinagi, quarter circle back, half circle forward, and AOC. And he's lost the ability to do that in the air, so you can't do that move in the air anymore, which is a bit sad. I kind of like being able to do that with the one variation of Hero in 2000 and, in King of Fighters 13. So I quite like that move. But he's not really that version, so I guess that makes sense. And then obviously if you do the one that uses 2 meters, he gets a bit more damage. So that's that. Looking at the second super that he has, it is a quarter circle forward twice and punch. And doing a draw just does this. You can see the damage there, but you can also charge it. And I believe it does more damage. Yeah, okay, so a little bit more damage. Also, the charging has some implication on his juggle combos. So if you found a juggle that works nicely and you want to like use the max mode meter, sometimes you can drop down early and do the super move and hold the button to just get your timing right for the biggest damage, and I've actually done a combo using some strategy similar to that. If you use the max version, the kind of damage you get, and he has an attack afterwards. There we go. And I think this one's also chargeable. You can stand there. Yep. Quite a bit more damage, eh? So, good stuff. Now, a word on cancelling, because this guy has so many specials. I was trying to figure out where you can cancel stuff with him. And to be honest, I tried to cancel on the first hit of this thing, and found out that you can do it, but you can also do it on the second hit. Okay, so you can cancel on that guy, you can cancel off this guy. What else can you cancel off? Maybe just the... Oh, can't cancel on that. What else do we have? That weird load. Yep. Well, that's a cancelable one. That makes sense too. That's a bit sad, so it looks like you might have to wait for that one. Oh, not even. Okay, that works. Oh, we had a lot of float time on that thing. No, I was just thinking maybe you could do a DP afterwards, but no. Alright, so that's cancelable. First hits, second hits, but not third hits. We take a look at second hits of this guy. Yeah. And indeed, third hit would be in the air, and he has no air super, so you wouldn't be able to cancel there. That won't work. This guy is going to be the same kind of thing. You're not going to get a cancel there because it's in the air. Same for this one. I'll get a cancel there, but you will be able to cancel off DP because he's just briefly on the floor. So you can DP cancel into a super. For the most part, I see most people doing combos and ending their combos with a half circle back and kick and then a super. So you'll launch and then do this kind of thing. So that tends to get you the best results. You kind of move in a bit closer and then get to do your super. It does also depend what kind of damage you want to do and like what kind of hits or super you want to do, because that one won't always work. You want to do a double 5 or forward one. So you whiff. So if he's in the corner, you might get him, but otherwise you won't. And there are other specials where you are actually able to get him and not whiff that hit. So that's basically that for cancels as well. Is it? I think I've pretty much covered everything. Yeah, that looks like all the specials and things. So then there's something I left out. He's jumping low back attacks, CDs. So this thing is pretty amazing, kind of like your anti-air or even just pressure. I mean, look how low that thing hits as well. So you can do that, or really high, and you can also anti-air quite a bit. If you're going to try and win anti-air exchanges, I reckon it's going to be the jumping fierce kick or definitely the jumping weak punch, because that thing for some reason looks like it hits more forward than... it's quite a... that jumping D looks like it may be much better. Let's check quickly. Let's jump around, see where that thing hits. Yeah, I would probably use the jumping D. Yeah, definitely jumping D for the CD. And then the ground CD is interesting. And why I say that is because he's got the half circle back in B, which puts him right next to his opponent after he's done the blow off attack, the CD. So you end up standing pretty much right next to someone after you've done it, which means you have some combo potential. You know, you can do that kind of thing, or even launch makes the most sense. So there you go. You have an interesting little launch combo right at the get-go, and that's nice because a lot of his attacks will allow you to cancel into CD. See how we do that. Oops, wrong one. Alright, I forgot, that's the demo. Okay, so the demo uses 2 hits and you can cancel into the CD and it'll take you to the wall, but they changed that for the full game. So the full game, you have to cancel after the first hits of the down, forward and D. Otherwise you're not going to get your CD to connect. So the first hit of that. Oopsie. Timing today. Yeah, that kind of thing. Let's try that again. Fun. Yeah, it's quite neat. So you can do that kind of thing by pushing the guy through to the wall using the CD. So your combos are kind of like varied. If you want to try and keep the pressure of putting someone in the corner, I suggest using your max mode cancel to put him in the corner, and then you can kind of pin him down with the jumping down and C, or even try and cross over with the jumping B, and then combo back, you know, so you can keep them guessing the entire time with that kind of stuff. Very useful character. I think his best kind of like game range wise is one of 2 things. On block, if someone's blocking, you can do the kind of fist punch forward and re-kick. Just one of those, it keeps you relatively safe. And also, like, because he has like really good normal links, you can be quite safe on the, what do you call it, hit confirms. So you can kind of see when you're going to hit something or not. So that's the second thing. And then one of the most important ones, I think, is actually this guy, this standing D, because, you know, obviously it goes over projectiles, the low ground projectiles, and it definitely works well if you want to get in close to do kind of your max mode cancel. So very useful for that. If you tag someone, you can max mode or quick max out of that, and then go in for combos. Just one thing I wanted to check in the demo. I saw something really weird where you could do the low projectiles, and then with kills you could just run over them. I wonder if they fixed that. Yeah, it looks like. So you can't run over them. Oh my god, you can. Oh no. Alright, so you have another method of getting in over a low projectile. And it looks to me like it's just the weak one. Yep. So you can run over low projectiles using the weak half circle back and kick. How annoying is that? So this man has a lot of stuff to avoid low projectiles. He's like the anti-Iori, which kind of makes sense. Yeah. So there you have it. So I made some combos. Take a look at them. Obviously, I'm not such a pro at this. I only try and do the breakdowns as much as I can, and then show off a couple of combo ideas. Man, enjoy them. Cheers.
そろそろ決めるぜ。歴史が違うんだ。